How to calculate the offer to make the seller when wholesaling real estate. In this video of my free Wholesaling University, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to calculate the offer to make the seller and what formula to use. So it's very simple to calculate the offer to make the seller. The formula is very simple, and I'm also going to be showing you a calculator that you can use that does all the calculations for you. Now, you do need to run comparables first. So in my last video, I showed you guys exactly how to run comparables using PropStream. We ran comparables on this property looking at properties in a mile radius that have sold in the past 12 months that are similar to our property, and we found our ARV, our after repair value. We found a comp, a similar property that was fully remodeled, that sold for top of the market, and it sold for $325,000. Now that we have our ARV, we can go ahead and do our calculations. So what are the calculations? So if you don't want to do the math on manually, what you can do is you can get my offer calculator that I've created. This offer calculator is available at jacobblank.com/shop. I highly recommend you go buy this because it makes everything super easy. But what is the formula? It is ARV minus investor's profit percentage minus closing costs and commissions minus repairs minus your assignment fee, and that equals your MAO, your maximum allowed offer to make the seller. So the market percent is, depending on your market, how much investors want to make as a return on their investment. Usually it's between 10 to 15% depending on the market. Closing costs and commissions is 7%, and repairs is whatever you think the property needs in repairs. If it needs minimal work, you can do the square footage times $5. If it needs like a medium remodel, you can do the square footage times $15. And if it needs a full remodel, you can do the square footage times $25 to get your repair costs. Once you have that repair cost, minus that out from the ARV as well, and then minus out your assignment fee. So you take ARV minus investor's profit, minus the closing costs and commissions, minus the repair costs, minus your assignment fee, how much you want to make on the deal, and that equals your MAO. Now, if you want to have it all done for you, I highly recommend that you get this offer calculator. It automatically calculates for you the investor's profit percentage. You can click these drop downs for what type of remodel it needs, and it's going to automatically calculate the repair cost for you. So for example, if the property we were looking at, we found a comp for $325,000, we're just going to plug that comp information in. It was 1313 square feet, and then we found another one that sold for $300,000. And the square footage on that was 1450 square feet. Now it's going to go ahead and run all the math for us. So we plugged in our subject property square footage for the property we're making an offer on. We plugged in the sale price and the square footage for our two comps. And that's going to go ahead and run the calculations. It's going to give us the average price based on these sales, the average price per square foot, and then the average price based on price per square foot, and then it's going to give us the average of those two, which equals our ideal ARV. That gets us to our ideal ARV. Once we have our ideal ARV, it minuses out all of these things, and the property needed average repairs, so let's do average, 21,000, that sounds about right. And actually, we want to make 20,000 on this deal, and boom, it's going to run all the math for us, and it's going to tell us that if the property ARV is $325 and we want to be able to make money on the deal, an investor is not going to pay more than $240 for it, right? This is our wholesale price, the price that we sell the deal to the investor for. They're not going to pay more than $240 for it. So it tells us if we want to make $20,000, our MAO, our maximum allowed offer, is $220,000. And then it tells us we're going to be locking up the deal at 70% of value. And it also provides us an offer range to make the seller. So it'll tell us a low range and a high range. So guys, that is exactly how to calculate the offer to make the seller. I highly recommend that you go get this offer calculator. It's available at jacobblank.com/shop. A lot of people out there will teach you like, hey, just take the Zillow's estimate, the Zillow estimate, right, Zestimate, and do 70% of that, and then offer the seller that. Well, that's not an accurate way to offer the seller. You're not looking at accurate comps. The Zestimate's not always accurate, and you're only doing 70% to get as your formula when that's not the accurate formula of actually what goes into a deal. What actually goes into a deal is all these costs: the investor's profit, the closing costs and commissions for when they go to sell the property on the market, the repair cost to fix up the property, right? You have to consider all those things and actually do the math like a buyer is going to do when they're looking at the deal. When a buyer is looking at their deal, at your deal, they're going to calculate, okay, what is it going to cost me to redo it? What are my costs when I close on it? What are my costs when I sell it? How much do I want to make on the deal? All of that. And they're going to calculate that and say, do the numbers make sense or do they not? So when you're trying to figure out what to offer the seller, you should be running the math the same way your buyer is going to be running the math in order to actually get an accurate price. So that way you can actually lock up deals where you know you're going to make money. So I highly recommend that you get this offer calculator at jacobblank.com/shop. Also, there's a bunch of other tools that are available at jacobblank.com/shop that will be beneficial for you in your wholesaling real estate journey. So I'd highly recommend that you go check that out at jacobblank.com/shop. And then the platform that we use to run our comps is called PropStream. So if you want a 7-day free trial of PropStream, there will be a link down below for this as well. This is the platform that we use to run our comps to find our ARV, our after repair value. And what PropStream is, it's an all-in-one real estate investor tool that lets you pull motivated seller lists, conduct marketing, research properties, market to those leads, and so much more. So just to briefly show you again, you can search up any property across the country, and it's going to give you all the information about that property at your fingertips. You're going to be able to run comps. You're going to be able to see the mortgage and transaction history from when they bought it and sold it. And then you can also pull motivated seller lists. You can pull vacant lists, absentee owner lists, death, divorce, senior owners, failed listings, free and clear property, bankruptcy properties. You can find cash buyers with PropStream. You can pull vacant land lists, probate lists, high equity, death lists, divorce, every single list you could want, tired landlords. And they make it very simple for you to pull these lists so that way you can then market to them. So if you haven't looked into PropStream, it doesn't hurt to go sign up and get a 7-day free trial of it. But that's exactly how to calculate the offer. It's a very simple formula. It's ARV minus what goes into it. Here's a quick recap. Minus investor's profit percentage. This is how much they want to make on the deal, which is usually 10 to 15% depending on the market. In Arizona, it's 10%. In Texas, it's 14%. California, it's 14%. So if you want to do an average, you could just do 14% as your investor's profit percent. That's probably going to be safe for every market. Then you want to minus out your closing costs and commissions. This is what the buyer is going to have to pay when they close on the deal and when they go and sell it with a realtor on the market after they remodel it. And that costs about 7%. So minus that out of your ARV. Then the repair cost. I told you how to calculate that with certain amounts times the square footage in order to figure out the repair cost, and then minus the repair cost out of your ARV, minus out your assignment fee, and that's going to equal your MAO to make the seller. I hope this video was helpful to show you how to calculate the offer, and let's move on to the next video in the free Wholesaling University. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the link down below and enroll in the full free university so that way you can access the rest of the free training videos. And if you'd like to upgrade to the complete Wholesaling University, it's only $297 and you're going to get access to over 40 more videos than what's inside the free Wholesaling University. This complete Wholesaling University goes over everything you need to know from start to finish on how to get your first deal and then to scale the business all the way up to doing $1 million every single year. Look what's inside. All of these educational videos on every single part of the business. So that being said, if you'd like to upgrade to the complete Wholesaling University, it's only $297. But if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link down below and at least enroll in the full free Wholesaling University so that way you can access the rest of the free training videos. I look forward to seeing you inside the program because you're going to also be able to network in the community with all the other students. I look forward to seeing you inside.